It's Wasp right here on your classic metal show with Babylon is Burning from the Babylon release. And boy, I tell you what, lots of great music out there to cover our topics no matter what they are.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's especially burning and gunfire.
Yeah.
There's a lot of songs about guns and about burning. That's for damn sure.
Because it's very metal.
Nice.
All right. Well, let's try to lighten up the mood a little bit. Let's try to bring the funny.
All right.
You sent this commercial thing over. I did not listen to it purposely.
Okay, good. So I'll set this up. So you're aware of how we constantly hear from fans and people in the business and whatever that say that we should monetize the show in some way.
Yes, this has been going on for well over a decade.
Yeah. And you and I have basically decided that for the absolute most part, people are full of shit. Nobody's going to spend money for the classic metal show. It just is what it is. It's just not that kind of a gig. And maybe it's our fault because we set it up as a free thing, but we did. So nobody's going to pay for it.
Well, this to give people the backstory who never or wasn't aware of it, when I got into doing this show almost 25 years ago, I got into it not looking for money or profit. I just got into it because it was something I wanted to do. I never thought in my wildest dreams, hey, I could make some money from doing this. Because as you're well aware, I did this show on FM radio for free.
Right.
I did it for nothing. And believe me, it cost me too. It cost me to do this. And it still costs me today, not as much, but I had to drive to the station every week. I had tons of CDs. I had to bring my own catalog. I paid for promotional stuff. I paid for, everything that I did for the show. And it was only because I enjoyed doing it. And at no point did it even, cross my mind as, how could I make money from doing this?
Sure.
And then when podcasting came along and, people like Talking Metal and so forth were coming along begging for change. I mean, we used to make fun of them all the time. You used to make the comment, they're shaking the pan.
Right.
And,
sure.
and our question always was, since we know what it costs to do a podcast, which is basically nothing aside from the initial, say a mixing board and a couple mics.
Right.
The cost is minimal. So we always wondered, well, what is that money for? We always ask that question. What is the money for? Why are you so desperate to make money from this? What do you need the money for?
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's it. And you and I both always had the opinion of, we have jobs. We didn't want this to be, at least for me, I didn't want this to be my job. I didn't want this to be any part of my job. I don't want to, even a minor bill. I don't want to be like, well, if we don't make enough money this month, I'm not going to pay my electric bill. Yeah. We don't want it to be that, because truthfully, if you make it about that, then it becomes work and not fun. And we have to restructure things. We couldn't do a segment like we just did if we had to worry about advertisers and if we had to worry
absolutely. Because, oh man, this is really controversial stuff and I can't have my name or business or whatever it is associated with that.
Right. We can't do that. And we don't want to do that. And truth be told, when we tried it, when we finally caved in, and I'll say it, we caved in.
We did.
And we tried it. We tried to do it, and I have no bad blood for our guy David at all. But his ideas proved out to be 1,000% what I had warned about in the first place, that it wasn't going to work. And he was gonna need us to change the way we did business, and we couldn't do it. It just wasn't gonna work. And I mean, he was like, no, you don't have to change anything. I can sell. And then as soon as the first customer that said he couldn't be associated with us doing what we do?
He did.
And then it was like, well, now I need you to change the website. Well, now I need you to add this to the website. I need you to add pages every day of news so that we get more traffic. And I need you to do this, and I need you to change the way the videos are listed. And, you know, all this shit. And remember, we had to change the website to add in commercials, video commercials, and we had to do reads, and we had to do all this shit. And it just wasn't worth it for the pittance of money that it was going to make.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in any event, we have always fought this. And the one time we caved into it, I think really solidified that we're never going to cave into this again.
I think it was an experiment. I went into it with a lot of skepticism and trepidation from the day one. I said, I'll try it. I'll give anything a try. But, you know, the minute it starts causing an issue, that's where it ends.
Yeah, and it became an issue real quick, and it ended real quick.
Yeah, I think the total amount of time was 2 months.
Yeah, and we were done.
We were done. 2 months and done.
Right. Well, there are podcasts, unlike ours, that they feel, and I'm going to say they feel like they have to make money for one reason or another, for whatever reason, whether it's they just feel like they have to make money to make it good, or they only feel like it's justified in their time if they make a couple of bucks, or they're in it solely as a business or whatever. And that's fine. But, and you do this too. You listen to a lot of podcasts.
I do.
And I listen to nothing but podcasts pretty much. What I've found is the podcasts that do, I don't want to say similar content to ours, because I like to think that we do something very different than pretty much anybody. But the content that does similar content, as far as they might be a little bit shocking or off the beaten path or whatever.
Little edgy.
Yeah, a little edgy. Good one. And I'll list some of the edgy ones that I think I'm talking about. Kumia. Definitely edgy.
And again, self-financed.
Yeah, and all of his stuff. But he does do ads.
And he does, but he's also a guy who made his bones in the commercial realm.
Right. Sure.
So he's already a known guy.
Right. But my point isn't that his podcast is needs the commercials. It's that he does the commercials. Because my point is not that he has to do the commercials. It's the commercials themselves. And Anthony does his best to try to make the commercials good. But in the end, the commercials, even on Kumia, somebody who we both respect immensely, the commercials blow dick. They're terrible. Whether it's Steven Singer or whether, he ends up...
Yeah, Steven Singer Jewelers.
Yeah. And he ends up with every kind of dick pill that there is, Blue Chew and all this other bullshit. And, he was doing that deepdiscount.com, bootleg DVDs or whatever the fuck that was. And, the commercials always stink on these programs. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because, it takes away from the programming, but,
right.
You get a guy like an Anthony who can possibly do the commercial justice, but also have fun with doing it at the same time, to where it's like, man, this is so ridiculous, it's funny.
Right. But even then, he rarely gets there. Most of the time, it's just crap that kills 3 minutes while Dave goes and takes a piss.
Sure.
That's really what it is. So, with this said, another guy that is pretty famous in some circles is Jim Cornette. Do you know who Jim Cornette is?
I am not aware of him at all.
Right, I'm going to put him on the screen on CMS TV screen. So if you would take a look, I'm going to see if you recognize him from, pop him up here. Chrome tab. This is the Jim Cornette tab. Share. All right. You should be seeing him. Do you see him?
I do see him, but I don't recognize him. Who is he? He looks like Trapper John or somebody from MASH or something.
Jim Cornette is he's a fairly famous wrestling promoter. He was in the WWE for a lot of years. He was in the WCW or NWA for a lot of years. He's been in all of them. But you would probably, if because you're not really a wrestling guy, you probably don't remember him. He was kind of a shocking manager kind of guy.
Okay.
And his claim to fame was that he always had a tennis racket, and he used to hit people in the back with the tennis racket when the ref wasn't looking, so his teams would win.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't watch enough wrestling to know anything about that, but go ahead.
All right, fair enough. So he's not a super famous guy, but he is in wrestling circles. If you're a wrestling fan, you absolutely know who Jim Cornette is.
Okay. He's a legacy guy.
Legacy guy, right.
Mm-hmm.
So he does 2 podcasts. He does one called The Drive-Thru, and he does one called the Jim Cornette Experience. And I personally am a subscriber to both. It's if you like wrestling, they're good podcasts. You would hate it because this guy is as hardcore a lefty as possible. And he spends part of his he has a lot of skip time with his podcast, because he'll start his podcast and then he'll go into some fucking Trump sucks rant for like 15 minutes. And then he gets to the wrestling shit. So I usually end up skipping about the first half hour of his show.
Now this what's this guy's name?
Jim Cornette.
This Jim Cornette Experience. Now, is there a real Jim Cornette out there that he's paying tribute to, or
he is the real Jim Cornette, I guess. He's the real guy.
All right, go ahead.
But the first 15, 20 minutes of his podcast is usually political bullshit and selling. He has his own business. He sells like wrestling collectibles and wrestling books and all this other kind of shit. So he's constantly promoting that. And then he also does commercials for whoever they'll sponsor him. His podcast is pretty successful. The Jim Cornette Experience on YouTube has 120,000 subscribers.
Okay.
So it has a pretty good following, and it's wrestling people. It's people that like wrestling. So I'm listening the other day, about a week ago. I was listening to whatever the current podcast was. And for some reason, I think I was in the car. And because I was in the car, I didn't have my hands free to skip the commercials and the Trump shit. So I just let it run. And I came across this commercial that I sent you.
All right.
It's like 3 minutes long. And it is 1,000% the reason that the Classic Metal Show is never going to do commercials again.
All right. That's a long commercial, 3 minutes.
Well, it's one of these improvised commercials. But as you'll hear, the product all by itself is something we would never touch.
Stay Free mini pads?
Even worse. and the spin that he puts on it to try to make it interesting is really creepy.
Oh, okay.
So I cut this commercial out for you, and I just thought maybe you would enjoy it. Maybe you won't, but I think you'll get something out of it, and I'm sure we'll stop along the way to critique little pieces of this as we go along.
Okay.
So I'm not even going to tell you what the product is. The product will define itself, and have at it.
All right, here we go.
Into the wolf man, and that's almost what I became, at least on top of my head here during this difficult quarantine period. But I'll have you know that my fucking balls and ass have never been slicker.
So where's this guy from? Is he from like North Carolina or South Carolina or something?
He's from the Carolinas.
That's what I see. I picked that up right away.
He's doing a commercial for smoothing out his ass and balls.
Yeah. He sounds like a Southern minister. He does. He sounds like one of those radio televangelists or radio evangelists, one of those Southern ministers.
Right, exactly.
All right, here we go. I'm going to start it again.
All right.
I talked about Lon Chaney Jr. turning into the wolf man, and that's almost what I became. at least on top of my head here during this difficult quarantine period, but I'll have you know that my fucking balls and ass have never been slicker.
My fucking balls and ass
have never been slicker.
So he curses in his commercials.
Oh, he absolutely does.
All right. Okay. Here we go.
I'm telling you what. No, because of our fine friends. I can't even call them sponsors because they are our sponsors, but they're also our friends at Manscaped that have basically given us the tools. What are you laughing at?
Yeah, I don't know why it tickled me what you just saying, I have slick balls.
What, he tickled him with his ball hair?
I guess he did.
He did a little chin painting.
Last thing I ever wanted in my mind, but okay.
Something about that.
Oh,
phrase.
Boy, I tell you what, they're slicker than a fucking cum on a gold tooth, I'll have you know.
Slicker than cum on a gold tooth.
What does that mean?
Well, he's either got the Aunt Jemima sucking his dick or something. Do you know anybody who has a gold tooth?
No. That went out in like the 60s, 70s?
I think it might have been later than that, but earlier than that, but who knows? A gold tooth.
They replaced it with the grill, didn't they?
I guess. Come on, a gold tooth.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a relatable
Yeah, I know. It's so bad.
Very relatable.
These are the kind of commercials we could be doing.
You're slicker than cum on a gold tooth. Okay.
Because it's so easy now. It used to be a chore, and you used to, whether you were going to nick yourself or hurt yourself or cut yourself. Some of the boys would take razors to the coin purse, and I'm like, fuck you. But those barber trimmers, those big hedge trimmer things, they can fucking do some damage as well. You can end up looking like Edward Scissorhands was giving you a hand job. But with the man...
Okay.
So much to unwrap there. Edward Scissorhands giving you a hand job.
Yeah, so you're nicking up your dick while you're using electric shavers on your balls.
So taking the electric razor to the old coin purse.
Yeah, the old coin purse.
Who has ever called their balls the old coin purse?
That's a first for me.
I've never heard that before.
Okay.
Escaped products that are tailor-made for this type of situation, this type of maneuvering.
Situation and maneuvering?
Yeah, I guess to shave your taint. I don't know.
Okay.
There's no muss, no fuss, no blood, no pain. And we've talked about the Lawnmower 3.0, but they've got the whole Perfect Package 3.0 precision engineered tools and accoutrements.
What kind of tools are we talking about here?
I don't want to put anything called the Lawnmower 3.0 to my balls.
Right.
I don't give a shit what it does. I am not putting anything called a lawnmower on my nuts.
I just want to know. I just want to know what kind of tools.
I don't know.
It's like spades and power drivers and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, what the hell?
All right.
You get a whole package of things. Not only the Lawnmower 3.0, it's the body trimmer. It's cordless. It's lightweight. It purrs like a kitten. You can't nick yourself. You can shave even the scruffiest pubic hair off the most sensitive of fucking wrinkled areas. But also you get the crop preserver, the
crop preserver.
The crop preserver.
The crop preserver. Well, I gotta look this up.
Now you gotta know what this thing is.
Yeah, there's just like too much going on here. So what's it called? It's called Manscaped? What is it?
It's called Manscaped. I'll find it here. Let's look this fucker up. Perfect Package 3.0.
Oh, there it is. Manscaped.com.
Yeah. This looks like a regular old beard trimmer to me.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me too. Just looks like one of those dial trimmers.
Put it on CMS
Skin
TV.
safe performance.
Yeah, there it is. Look at that. We save balls.
We shave balls.
Does yours say? This one says.
Yeah, I know. I'm just making a joke.
They should. It should. God damn, that thing's $90. $90.
Oh, there it is. There it is. The Preserver. Anti-chafing deodorant. Crop preserver.
A crop preserver.
Yeah,
Nice.
designed specifically for a man's most sensitive region. This oil-free moisturizing deodorant. Are you deodorizing your balls?
Maybe a little Gold Bond every now and
It
again.
creates an anti-chafing barrier that reduces bacterial growth.
So does a washcloth in the shower.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah. Jesus.
To provide all-day freshness below the waist.
Mm-hmm.
The Crop Reviver.
Yeah, the ball toner.
Oh, is that what that is? The spray-on body toner was designed especially for highly sensitive and high friction areas of the high friction areas.
High friction areas.
It features soothing aloe and witch hazel extracts for anti-inflammatory, anti-burn protection.
Nice.
I don't know. I haven't experienced these issues.
No, you're not fat. That's fat guy.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's when you get fat legs. And
Oh, okay. All right. I'm glad you explained that, because I'm thinking to myself, at no time in my life do I think to myself, man, I could have used that.
Yeah. Oh, as a fat guy, I definitely have fat legs that I get that side ball rub.
Ah, all right. I'm going to just take your word for it.
Although I've never bought the Reviver ball toner. I might need it.
All right. And then you got the Crop Cleanser. Featuring ingredients like soothing alloy, sea salt, and natural hydrators. This refreshing all-in-one cleanser is perfect for pre- and post-trimming, as well as daily showering.
Okay.
I didn't realize that guys were experiencing such issues.
You didn't know all this was going on?
I did not know this. But looking at this tool,
Yeah.
I'm with you. This doesn't look any different than, a typical beard trimmer.
Yeah. I wonder if you can take it in the shower with you. Maybe it's water resistant.
Oh.
That you can shave your balls in the shower, maybe?
I guess.
Who the fuck wants to be all bent over in the shower shaving their scrot?
I don't know.
That seems a bit odd.
Okay. Well, somebody made a business out of it.
Yeah.
All right. Back to Jim Cornette.
All right.
Ball deodorant and moisturizer, and it's starting to get hot outside. So it's crucial to this to keep everything from sticking together down there, because sometimes, I know at least when you get older, peeling your fucking sack off the side of your thigh in the middle of the summertime when you're wearing shorts and no fucking underwear underneath is like fucking when you used to use silly putty to peel the fucking cartoon off the Sunday paper. Oh gosh, it's like you've double stick Elmered yourself. Anyway.
Boy, that's an issue.
You don't have that issue?
I don't have that issue.
You've never peeled your fucking balls off your leg?
I have never done that.
Like silly putty on a fucking newspaper?
Yeah. You double Elmered yourself.
Nice.
Okay.
Ugh.
Well, for those individuals out there who require this kind of product, I guess, God bless Manscaped for providing it, and God bless Jim Cornette for bringing it to our attention.
Yeah. Double sticked Elmered yourself.
Yeah. All right.
This prevents that. Everything smells fresh like the spring flowers outside there, but it's down in your own private garden. And
your own private garden.
I can't wait till people on CMS TV see your reaction when he said that. That was worth the $6, my friend. For people that don't know, I'll describe it, and then you can make your own decision if you watch it or not. The look of disgust on Neely's face. He was like embarrassed to be even covering this show.
I could just imagine you trying to tempt your lady to go, let me invite you into my private garden. It smells like the flowers outside.
Yeah. Just don't bring your rake with you.
Yeah. Okay.
well, everybody needs a secret garden, Brian. But anyway, you can subscribe to the perfect package. It's delivered to your door every 3 months with all the replacement blades for the lawnmower, trimmer, and the whole 9 yards.
Replacement blades?
They get dull shaving those balls.
Apparently so.
Ball hair's like wire.
I guess. Okay.
It's like a wire fence around your private garden.
Yeah, it must be. You need wire cutters.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Bolt cutters.
Yeah, no kidding.
And if you do this now, if you subscribe, you get 2 free gifts. Subscribe to this package.
Aren't gifts supposed to be free anyway?
Yeah, usually.
Why are they free gifts?
Yeah.
Why don't they just say that they're just gifts?
Yeah. Who pays for a gift?
Yeah.
The perfect package. You get the Shed travel bag, which is a $39 value.
The Shed.
The Shed.
Wow, they make this all manly sound. You got mowers and trimmers and sheds and tools.
It's all playing into that gardening.
Yeah, it's all about working with your hands.
Right.
Got the manly thing going on there.
Too funny.
And the patented high-performance anti-chafing, that's another thing you don't want to chafe, Manscaped boxer briefs. They're smooth. They're smooth as an insurance salesman. They're smooth as an undertaker.
Smooth as an undertaker?
What the fuck does that mean?
I never heard that one before. What does that mean?
I don't know.
They're smooth as an undertaker?
What does that mean?
Okay.
They will keep you from sticking together down there as well. Anyway, you get 20% off. You get free shipping and the free gifts if you subscribe with the code at manscaped.com. And what is that code again, young man?
Hold on.
That code is,
I'm glad he was prepared.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck.
Are we done with this yet?
He can't believe his co-host is still yammering on about this.
Is it Cornette? It used to be.
It is Cornette.
It used to be JCE. Now it's Cornette.
It's Cornette.
Well, that's what it is. Manscaped.com, code Cornette, 20% off, free shipping. The free gifts. It's spring cleaning, baby, down there in the fucking private secret garden. And you never know, you might. And I'll tell you what, if you keep the weeds around your cucumbers trimmed, your cucumber.
Oh, wait, it gets better. You got to hear the whole joke. Back up a little bit.
All right. Keeping the weeds around your cucumber trimmed.
Oh, this is so bad.
All right.
Secret garden. And you never know, you might. And I'll tell you what, if you keep the weeds around your cucumbers trimmed, your cucumber looks bigger.
Okay.
All right.
Manscaped.com.
That's what I said.
Wow. So what kind of coin do you think Manscaped is giving Jim Cornette for doing this commercial?
I'll bet a little bit. Because he's probably, realistically, he's probably reaching 300,000 people.
Okay.
So I'd imagine they're paying him a little bit.
Okay.
Now, can't be a ton. And the fact that he has a code, it's probably $1,000 plus X amount for anybody that uses the code.
Right. They probably like give him a percentage of the sale.
Yeah, they probably pay him up front some amount of money, maybe $1,000 or something.
Yeah.
And then 10% of the sale or some shit.
Yeah, probably.
That's the kind of shit we could be doing.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Well, at least his ass and balls are slick.
Yeah.
I mean, there is an upside to all that.
Yeah. He's taking care of his private garden.
Yeah, his private garden.
His balls don't act like they're double Elmered to his leg anymore.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad he's doing so well with the ladies.
What a tool bag.
Boy. No, he's a tool shed.
Tool shed.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he's a tool shed.
Yeah.
So you've listened to this guy's podcast, just real brief. So what's his issue with Trump? What is it that he doesn't like about Trump, or have you ever listened to it to understand what it is?
I don't listen to it enough. I mean, I always skip it. He's just he's a hardcore. He's like every other hardcore lefty. It's just Trump's bad. He's racist. He's bigoted. He's he's ruining the country. He's, it's the standard. It's the standard line that you get from either side. They all have reasons why they hate whoever, but none of them share those.
They don't back it up with anything.
Yeah, they just say, "Well, this guy's a piece of shit." Okay, why? Well, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And that's all he ever has.
Okay.
He's one of those guys. So.
He's a man of substance.
Yeah. And like every other person that spews political shit, I just fast forward right
there.
Well,
I don't blame you for that.
I could care less. The last thing in the world I'm going to do is take political fucking advice from a guy that fucking spent 40 years fake fighting. Sorry. That doesn't give you credibility in political circles with me.
Right. Well, is he still actively involved with wrestling anymore, or is this what he does now?
No, he's the same guy. I'll tell you, we did a story on him about 4 months ago.
Yeah, didn't he get in trouble for saying something? Yeah.
He's the guy that made the Ethiopian with a bucket full of chicken joke.
Right.
He's the same guy, and he got fired from that TV program, from NWA Wrestling.
Okay.
He got fired for that. So yeah, he's not doing wrestling anymore. He just does. He sells his products, and he's very smart about wrestling. Like he's been a major writer throughout the heyday of wrestling, all the biggest years of wrestling. He's been a writer as well as an on-screen talent.
Okay.
So he knows wrestling.
So what do you personally take away from his podcast, at least the portion that you listen to?
I love his feedback about wrestling.
Okay.
I love while I love the AEW, the new wrestling thing, he absolutely hates it. And he goes into great detail why he hates it and analyzes every match and talks about where it's bad and this and that. And it's cool. For me, it's cool to listen to somebody that's that ingrained in the development of wrestling, to listen to somebody that really knows the business backwards and forwards.
Okay.
So I do enjoy his podcast a ton. I just hate the politics that he just has to throw in every fucking show. And he's got that Eddie Trunk-like commercial thing going where it's like the first 10 minutes of the show is just nothing but here's where you can buy my collectibles, and here's where you can get the Jim Cornette DVD, and here's where you can get the Jim Cornette Patreon. And, he does all the bullshit, everything. He's a typical wrestling guy where the only focus is making money.
Yeah, of course.
Like all wrestling guys.
All right.
So, but once he starts talking about wrestling, he's really, really, one, he's a dirty motherfucker, which I love that because he just, he swears and cusses and talks shit. And I love that. And he really knows wrestling. So for me, it's like, instead of listening to a bunch, I don't like listening to like wrestling podcasts that are people that are actually in wrestling right now, because they all soft code, they sugarcoat everything because they want to, leave the door open for any possible job, whether it's with WWE or AEW or New Japan or whoever it would be. But Cornette being out of the game, he doesn't give a fuck, which makes it all the better for me because he's not worried about hurting anybody's feelings.
Right.
So you get some real truth.
Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hail and kill.
Hail and kill.
This is my first time calling.
Okay.
I've been listening for about almost 2 years.
Okay.
And I just want to say thanks to you guys. It's been up and down 2 years for me, and this show helped me get through a lot of shit.
Oh, I thought you were saying thanks to you guys. It's been up and down for you, but I'm glad that we can help you through the down times.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So who are you? Where are you from?
My name is Al, and I live in Kentucky right now.
Okay.
I just moved 2 weeks ago.
All right. So what can we do for you, Al?
Oh, not much, man. Like I said, I just wanted to firstly thank you guys for everything. I first heard, I think I saw you on my YouTube when I was listening to Eddie Trunk freak out about Kiss. And I think it was the Eddie Trunk being a shriller. That was the first one. And then I've listened to all the Judge Aikens, and I've heard those at least 10 times each.
Nice. So
yeah,
what? You don't have to get specifically into it, but what was it that we pulled you through? Was it a divorce, or was it some a family member dying, or what?
It was a assault charge.
Ooh, did you do time?
No.
Yes.
Just no, I was in jail for a couple days, but it wasn't for too long.
Mm. Who were you accused of assaulting? A chick?
Maybe.
So the lion bitch had you put away? Is that the deal?
That's a long story. I don't want to get into it.
Well, we're not asking you to get into it.
That's fine. We all know you're not supposed to hit him, but we understand.
You know, shit happens. Sometimes you just drink too much, and it's been a learning process.
Wow, that's something new. Alcohol played a part in poor decision making. I can't believe it.
Yeah, no kidding.
How much had you drank?
How much did I?
Yeah.
At that point, how much was being consumed at that time?
Probably. I don't know, man. Honestly, that day it wasn't a whole lot. It was just a lot being led up to that point, and so it was just kind of just a snap decision.
It usually is.
Getting there.
Yeah.
Well, are you good?
Well,
are you good now, or is everything okay with you now?
Yeah, man. Like I said, we just moved. It's been a great 2 weeks since we've been here.
You're still with her?
Yeah.
Wow, you are a brave one, my friend.
Did she learn? Did she learn her lesson?
We both have learned a lot, for sure.
Well, you know what you tell a woman with two black eyes, don't you?
What's that?
Nothing. You've already told her twice.
But she's not late with dinner anymore, is she?
She what?
She's not late with dinner anymore, is she?
No, never.
So I guess she did learn her lesson.
She did. It's all good. Oh, we won't press you on it, dude. I'm glad you're not in jail, and I don't know how glad I am that you're staying with this chick that was willing to lock you up, but hey, if that works for you, cool, man. Be happy.
That's the plan, man. We have a 2-year-old together, and I wouldn't trade anything for the world right now. Like I said, it's just been awesome, and I just wanted to thank you guys for everything. It means a lot.
All right.
I'm gonna get to it. Let you get back. Hail and kill. Fuck you, pal. Fuck Thayer. Let it be Lowenbrow. All right, and hand job.
got it all in there.
Well, he's been listening a couple of years. Holy smokes. Holy smokes.
It's always funny the effect we have on different people for different reasons.
I don't know that I could stay with a chick that had me jailed, though.
Well, you know what? Maybe he felt he deserved it.
Even still, I'll take my chances with the next one.
Well, you know what?
I'll learn my lesson and move on to the next one. Because you always have that. You'll always have that fucking thought in the back of your head. That threat that she has. Don't make me call the police on you.
Or always brandishing it like a weapon every time you get into a altercation.
Oh, yeah.
You go, remember that time you did this, that, and the other?
No, that's not how it would go. It would go, first you beat me, then you didn't pay the rent. That's how it would go.
Yeah. Always bringing up your faults.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, anything that you do in the history of your relationship is fair game in women fighting.
Whatever you have to do to basically prove you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and believe me, they don't forget.
Yeah.
It's not like years from now she's going to be like, oh, I've forgotten that already.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Especially with the jailing thing. It'll be, I should have left you in jail, you cocksucker.
Yeah. There was this one time you said...
I haven't forgotten. Neither has the Louisville sheriff.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that. But if he's happy, hey, good for him.
Yeah, as long as he's a hardcore fan, I'm all for him.
Mm-hmm. When you do eventually break up and you're heartbroken, dude, little victories. It's only like $17 on Amazon. Great read. You'll get there.
It's a self-help book.
Yeah, it's good for you.
Yeah.
Not yet, but you'll get there. And when you do, little victories will be waiting for you at Amazon. In fact, I'll even sign it for you. Just the kind of guy I am.
Yeah, the Classic Metal Show. We're here for you.
That's right.
We'll clothe you. We'll give you knowledge. We'll give you entertainment.
That's right.
Gotta
That'll help you through the bad times.
Exactly. Because we're just giving guys.
That's us.
We just give and give till it hurts.
Yep. Never stop.
All right. I say we take a little break. What do you think?
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Would you like a song? Do you have something in mind?
Yeah. Let's go way off the beaten path here. I'm going to go to one of your favorite, he's a supporter of your favorite guy, Mr. Donald Trump.
Okay.
I'm going to go with some Ted Nugent off of Love Brigade.
Okay.
And I'm going to dedicate this one to that guy that just called. This one is called Bridge Over Troubled Daughters.
Okay. Well, let's take a quick call before we jump into the song.
Sure.
Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, I want to get away from the negative stuff and let's talk about something more relevant. New Dokken music. Is there anything on the horizon?
Well, there's a retrospective record coming out in August, and there's
It was released yesterday.
Yeah, and there's a new record in the works as we speak.
Well, that's what I'm talking about because that's been in the works for a while.
Well,
and last year they were supposed to put some time away. It's February. And Don kept touring, and it just didn't happen.
Is that the reason it didn't happen?
Well, I don't know. You have more ins than me, obviously. So I just want to get the inside scoop on that.
It is being written. There are 10 songs that are already completed. So it will be released later this year. So you're actually going to get 2 Dokken records this year.
The retro or the secret one or the
you're going to get the retro record and you're going to get a new record.
And will this happen before the new vaccine?
But
I don't know. I'm hoping by the end of the year we have a new album.
Okay. Well, I'll put that word in for you.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yes.
All right, brother. Great to hear from you.
You know, one more thing, guys. I bought the subscription, and can you only watch the replay, or can you actually watch it live while it's occurring
Nope.
the show?
We do not stream it live.
Okay, cool deal. All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Hail and kill. Guy had an agenda.
I guess so.
So as you were saying, it's Ted Nugent.
From Love Grenade,
All right.
and it's Bridge Over Troubled Daughters.
All right. Here we go. Oh, there it is. All right. Well, we'll play some Ted Nugent and a couple other songs, and we'll come back. So here it is. It is Uncle Ted exclusively here.
Your classic metal show.